I've said it once and I'll say it again. Nintendo's digital event for E3 2015 was disappointing. It wasn't overly terrible, but it was definitely not the bombshell presentation we were hoping it to be, especially since they knocked it out of the park at E3 2014. It was just that most of the games Nintendo decided to talk about were titles we were already aware of and learned about at the previous E3. And even when it came to games we didn't know much about, they didn't elaborate on many details besides just showing a trailer and then moving on to the next thing. But them puppets were amazing. It felt like a lot of the presentation was filler. Honestly, did we really have to spend minutes listening to someone talk about yarn? Kill me. But just because the event was lackluster doesn't mean Nintendo doesn't have some awesome games cooking up that we can expect to play in the near future and on into 2016. As the Nintendo guru I am, I have decided to take on the duty of ranking the games Nintendo highlighted at E3. So here are my top 5 Nintendo games from E3 2015. And as I always say, keep in mind that this is not an objective look at the games. It will cater to my own personal opinions and taste. So there's a very good chance I'm not going to match up perfectly with your views, and that is a-okay. So please don't hate, mate. Number 5. The last true Star Fox game that we received that wasn't a remake was a whopping 9 years ago with Star Fox Command, and even then, that game wasn't all that great. Yeah, I have it. Nintendo is looking to go back to the roots of the highly praised Star Fox 64, which was all about on-rails aerial combat and arena-like dogfights, which in effect gets rid of some of the elements of more recent Star Fox games that fans haven't taken kindly to. One of the main reasons why Star Fox Zero isn't higher up on this list is because most of the footage that Nintendo has shown off hasn't necessarily blown me away. It has just come across as being, for lack of a better term, simple, with not a whole lot going on screen to really test the player. And the visuals aren't exactly on the same caliber as Yoshi's Woolly World or Xenoblade Chronicles X when it comes to detail. But I am staying optimistic about this game because Platinum Games is the one taking the reins of this intergalactic showdown. They know how to make some stellar action games like the Wonderful 101, and I sincerely hope they work the replay value magic on Star Fox Zero. Even though it has been revealed that you can beat the game in about the same time as watching a movie, I like that they are adding multiple missions for each planet, which gives you a reason to come back. Nintendo hasn't shown us too much of what Zero is going to offer just yet, so I'm definitely looking forward to the next Nintendo Direct where we'll undoubtedly get an even more in-depth look at the game, so that's exciting. Bring out the big guns, Platinum, and do justice to the franchise that brought to birth the Foxy Fox McCloud and crew. Number 4. If there's a game that can win you over with its visuals, that game would have to be Yoshi's Woolly World, because my golly goodness does the Yoshinator look cuter than a button. And can we spare a second to take a gander at the Yarn Yoshi amiibo? I can smell them. Woolly World is a game I've been looking forward to for quite some time, ever since its initial announcement so long ago when it was known as Yarn Yoshi. I love me some side-scrolling platformers, and mixed with a cute, charming, and ultimately beautiful yarn art style, it's basically a tractor beam. It sucks you right in. After our last outing with the rather lukewarm Yoshi's New Island on the 3DS, Woolly World is looking like it will bring the series back to its former self, and not feel so uninspired and bland. I also love how they're putting a big focus on collectibles in each level, when it comes to finding the Wonder Wool, Meaver stamps, and so on, as I'm a big fan of platformers that give you a lot to explore. But hands down the best collectible is the Wonder Wool, because of those stinking adorable Yoshi costumes that you can't help but want to snuggle with. While Yoshi's Woolly World might not be the most hardcore Wii U game coming out this year, it's no doubt going to be a yarn ball of fun. It just kinda stinks that us gamers over in North America aren't getting our hands on it until October, while Europe gets it at the end of June. Why do you do this to us, Nintendo? Number 3. Nintendo didn't spend a lot of time with Fire Emblem Fates in the digital event. They showed off a quick new trailer with English voice acting, which is sweet, gave us an official name for the game, and a vague 2016 release date, and poof, on to the next game. While Fates wasn't a showstopper, since we've known about the game's existence for some time, it doesn't stop it from being one of Nintendo's best games at E3 2015. Fire Emblem Awakening is one of the finest titles on the 3DS, but the two different versions of Fates definitely has the opportunity of trumping it. Yes, we're seriously getting 2 full Fire Emblem games that are both longer than any previous entry in the series. And that's not even counting the 3rd DLC storyline where you don't choose the Hoshido path nor the Nor path. Jiminy Cricket, we've got a lot of turn-based strategic goodness to look forward to. and I love it. But that also means double the price if you want to have both games, plus whatever the third DLC storyline's gonna cost. But I sincerely hope Nintendo adds some nice perk to give us an incentive to pick up both versions. Come on Nintendo, be kind to my wallet here. She's a fragile thing.
So please be gentle.
I'm glad they're bringing back the support and marriage systems from Awakening, because it's great being able to pair characters up to add another layer of personalization to the game. The two versions of Fire Emblem Fates called Birthright and Conquest are going to be standout games for 2016, but let's just hope it doesn't get pushed back too far. Number 2! While Nintendo didn't announce a new entry in the Paper Mario series for Wii U, which is rather unfortunate, the red and blue piece of paper wasn't missing entirely from E3. Yes, I'm talking about Mario & Luigi Paper Jam, which is more or less a Mario & Luigi game with some papery goodness thrown in to ramp up the hijinks. This was one of the biggest surprises for me from Nintendo this year. I did not see it coming, but after seeing the reality of the two universes colliding, it makes total sense. It's quite genius. Both franchises are mainly RPGs, with relatively similar turn-based combat. They get the player more involved with timed button presses, and they both don't take themselves seriously with their stories and dialogue. Talk about a perfect match. It will be entertaining seeing the cast of Mushroom Kingdom folk interacting with their papery counterparts, and having Paper Mario be the third wheel so they can be the three Mustasketeers will add a nice layer to the already stellar combat system. The most recent Mario & Luigi game, Dream Team, wasn't half bad, but some of the flashy attacks just felt like they were too long and drawn out, making battles feel like a chore, so hopefully they tone that down a bit in Paper Jam. From what I've seen and read about the game so far, it seems like Paper Jam will be taking place mainly in the Mario & Luigi world, but hopefully we get to travel to the Paper Mario universe at some point in the story. It would have been nice if they spent a bit more time with this adventure in the digital event, instead of clogging it up with yarn and other stuffy stuff. But that doesn't stop it from being one of my most anticipated Nintendo games right now. It's just a real stinker that we have to wait until spring 2016 to get our meaty claws on it. Maybe I should take up origami while I wait.
It's a goose.
Number 1! Xenoblade Chronicles X was in the same boat as Fire Emblem Fates when it came to the Nintendo digital event. They showed a near 2-minute trailer showcasing our first English footage of the game, and then plastered a December 4th release date on the end, and kablamo, they moved on to the next game. But good gravy is this RPG looking better than ever before. I just got my first taste of the Xeno universe with Xenoblade Chronicles 3D for the new 3DS, and that title is a total blast. I love the real-time combat system with a plethora of different arts to utilize, and I like the characters and story. Chronicles X is looking to up the ante by making everything more expansive, and the trailer Nintendo showed off was all sorts of epic. Visually, the game looks sublime and even more polished than before, the cast of monsters are gigantic and breathtaking, and the pulse-pounding music just added to the intensity. And thanks to the Treehouse Live segments, which is something I hope Nintendo continues to do for many more E3s to come, we got an even more extensive look at the English footage. The English voice acting isn't half bad from what I've heard so far, but I'm not the biggest fan of the silent protagonist. It just feels out of place. And that lip sync though. Nailed it! Even so, I'm super pumped for Xenoblade Chronicles X, and it is definitely one of the Wii U games I'm looking forward to most this year. I just need to find the 300 hours I need to become fully engrossed in the world of Chronicles X.
Goodbye, world. It was nice knowing ya.
So there you have it, folks. Those are my picks for the top 5 Nintendo games of E3 2015. I definitely have to give an honorable mention to Super Mario Maker, because believe it or not, it was originally on this list, but I switched it out with Star Fox Zero. I flipped back and forth between them, but ultimately settled upon Star Fox Zero as the winner. Clearly, one reason for this is because Mario Maker is mainly a level editor, and I am worried that when I buy it, I will make a few levels and then put it down and rarely touch it again. I can't help but want to play it though. Nintendo makes it look fun, and it also looks like one of the best and most user-friendly stage creators I have ever seen. Nintendo is really making it so anyone can dive in to create their very own Mario levels, and the sky is really the limit here when it comes to building them. But alas, Star Fox Zero took its place on my list. And as always, sound off in the comment section below and tell me the 5 Nintendo games that would find a snuggly little home on your own personal list. Are you craving the Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, or how about the extremely controversial Metroid Prime Federation Force? I won't judge. And that about does it. Don't forget to slap that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more tantalizing videos from yours truly in the future. But I will talk to you later in the next video, guys. Bye!